welcome to my Ocean One and Then Some channel. This video is going to be about Fisker, but it's more along the lines of how to find information about the ongoing court cases. I decided to not do videos over these. This is something that I wasn't terribly interested in doing videos over. There's been a lot of twists and turns and things like that, and I have been following it, a little bit on the back burner. But it's something that, I feel like I don't have much control there in the grand scheme of things, so I'm just going to wait and see what the end result is. I'm not going to worry myself over this stuff. But I was reading some of this, and it looks like, if you're interested, it looks like HEITS or CVI could very well have some questions to answer. Now, if you followed my channel and you've watched, months ago, literally months ago, I was originally speculating, that the dilution would eventually come to an end because, HEITS was diluting the daylights out of us. We basically went from 300 million shares to 600 million shares to 1.2 billion shares to 1.5 billion shares. And that all happened very, very rapidly. And there is an exhibit. I'm going to scroll down here. I think I've got that one open. It's called Exhibit A. And I guess I could stop the video here and make sure that I put it in so you could see the title of it. It's called Exhibit A, How HEITS Profited from Fisker's Death Spiral. And they start with Fisker's share price being $7.03, going to $6.42 to $2.81, down to less than a cent. And they say several things here that, I never knew the exact numbers, but I knew it was a big number. I'm going to read what's called the bottom line at the bottom of this chart. It says, bottom line, on its July and September aggregate cash investments of $450 million, HEITS has recovered $507 million using the alternative conversion provision and cash sweeps from an implied profit of from an implied profit of $57 million. Yet HEITS continues to assert $183 million secured claim against the debtors. So I think this is something that HEITS and possibly even Fisker are going to have to answer for, and I'm really glad that this is getting brought to the surface because, I was talking about this literally months and months ago, that Fisker basically allowed HEITS to bankrupt the company. And HEITS really did, in the grand scheme of things, bankrupt the company. Now, I've done other videos on this, and I've even said that Fisker did itself no favors leading up to this moment. They did a lot of things wrong. But I always felt like things were solvable until Gita missed the 10Q. And once she missed the 10Q, HEITS here came in under that, technical default and started diluting the daylights out of us. So I'm going to pause the video right here and try to remember to include this chart, and then I'm going to talk about some other things. So there's another chart right below that called Exhibit B, and it talks about the 2025 convertible notes and the dilutive impact of the alternative conversion. And really, it's hard to put anything into a tiny little box because there were so many moving parts. But this is when Fisker really died. I mean, the share price just got decimated, and I kept expecting, the dilution to end, and it never did because Fisker never rectified the 10Q. If you remember, that went on for a very, very, very long time. This is docket or document, however you want to word that. It's 303, if you don't want to click on all of these, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get there, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to link how to get there. I'm going to pin it in the comments because I'm not going to do videos over all these. This is something that I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to let it happen, and see how it plays out. I'm just simply not going to do videos over all of these. And then document 302, I have it brought up. Now there's all kinds of documents, and the date on them was shoot, what was the date? The 25th, I think the 25th was the date. But you can see how the FOA, the Fisker, Owners Association, is trying to, do things here, and maybe not everybody agrees with those, but at least it's something, okay. And then I know not everybody agrees with the Fisker, boy, I have trouble with that. I think they probably want that pronounced Fixer. The Fisker service, though, not everybody agrees with that, but not everybody agrees with anything. I'm just trying to look at the potential positives here, that, especially if you live in California, you have a way to potentially get service. Here I am in Kentucky, what are my options? Slim and none, right? So if you want to bring up this other document called 302, there's some good information in it too. I'm just going to read the conclusion, okay? I'm just going straight down to number 7. Much remains to be done in these cases to ensure Fisker vehicles are viable and safe in the future, along with finalizing the fleet sale and winding down the business in a manner that benefits all creditors. For the reasons explained above, the court should deny the motion to convert, and that is to convert from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7. So there is some opposition there. Now the purpose of this video, though, is because I'm kind of tickled in the grand scheme of things that Heights is potentially going to get investigated here. I think this is fantastic that this is getting brought to the surface. I would also like to know what went on behind closed doors. Because as retail, we were really left out of what was going on behind closed doors, because, basically all we got as retail was, Henrik came out, and I remember he made a post on StockTwits, actually. I remember him doing that, saying, we've come to a good agreement with our investor. Well, what we didn't know at the time, though, is that same investor, Heights, could still dilute the daylights out of us, and they did. So I think all of this is going to come to light here, and does this help any of retail in any way? Maybe, maybe not. I honestly have no idea. But if those of you that are interested in following this in great detail and reading all these documents, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get there, and I'm actually going to pin that in the comment section so nobody will have trouble with that. So just a quick video for you guys. I think it's informational and it is important. This is just not something that I'm interested in going over each of these documents and trying, to get inside the judge's head or anything like that, because at the end of the day, that judge is going to decide this, not me. So I'm just going to let you guys read this stuff for yourself. Anyway, I appreciate you joining in, and I appreciate my audience. I really hope, it's just such a shame that Fisker has, died like this. I would love to see something happen to continue the brand. Now, I know that's extremely unlikely, but we still have some IP out there, and there is still a potential, for somebody to pick up the brand. Now, the shares are toast. I don't see any possible outcome that would revive the shares. But, if people could get their oceans serviced and know that, that's something that could be done, expeditiously, and not having to wait for parts, for weeks or months or years, then I think a lot of people would feel very good about keeping their Fisker Oceans if they knew service and parts would be there. Now, I've made my decision. I'm going to drive mine until I have a problem that I can't solve. And I hope that's a very, very long time. But, you know, as I mentioned in some other videos, I still don't have the third update to 2.0. I live in a rural area. So for me to get the signal, I don't know when that signal's getting sent. And it's usually sent at night, you know, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. My car's in the garage and I don't have cell signal. So I don't have a way to know when that signal is being sent. And it was just pure luck that I got the other two parts of it. I was actually out. I was actually at Dairy Queen. I actually did a video over that. I was at Dairy Queen and just happened to get the signal 2 times in a row. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here at the end, so if you are interested in following this, I'm going to pin it in the comments. I may not have it pinned as soon as I get it up, but I will get it pinned rather rapidly. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining in, and until next time.